Control of hazardous energy sources is a requirement that organizations must implement for the safety of all employees. This program is designed to explain the basic procedures, some terminology used in the procedures, and general requirements. Before this requirement was released in September of 1989, organizations used the lockout and tagout procedures to protect employees from machinery and equipment hazards during maintenance and repair. Control of hazardous energy sources is the new concept, with new requirements for the previous lockout-tagout program. Let's begin with some basics, as you'll need these to understand the program. What are hazardous energy sources? Electricity is used to provide power to a wide variety of machines and equipment. Locking out of electricity prevents electrical equipment from accidental release of electricity during maintenance or repair. The main problem here is locking out electricity does not guarantee that other energy sources won't be released. There may be a steam valve that requires locking out as well, or hydraulic, vacuum, or pneumatic pressure, mechanical motion, springs, thermal energy such as steam or heat, or extremely low temperature liquids or gases. Release of chemicals or chemical reactions are other energy sources that must be controlled, dissipated, or shut off. Locking out of electricity may not provide adequate protection during maintenance and repair. Each machine or piece of equipment must be inspected by trained persons to determine adequate lockout procedures for all potential hazardous energy sources. Your organization must have these energy sources identified and listed in the written lockout-tagout policy and procedures. Now, before we go much further, let's discuss two categories of employees requiring knowledge and training in lockout-tagout procedures. The first category is authorized employees. These are maintenance personnel who actually use lockout and tagout procedures while they are repairing or maintaining equipment. The second category is affected employees. Now, this describes any employee who uses or works around equipment and machinery. It's recommended that virtually all employees be in the affected employee category. There is one exception to the lockout rule, and that's equipment connected only by an electrical cord and plug. You do not have to lock out cord and plug connected equipment if there are no other hazardous energy sources. The major requirement of cord and plug connected equipment is that when cleaning, maintenance, or repair of such equipment is being done, the person performing the work must have control of the plug, thus preventing the equipment from becoming re-energized during the servicing operation. How about those routine service operations that maintenance people perform while machinery and equipment are running? You need to remember the phrases normal production operations and servicing or maintenance during normal production operations. Normal production operations means operation of equipment by machine operators. From time to time, minor adjustments are made by machine operators to keep the machine operating properly. The key safety factor in normal productions is machine guarding to protect the machine operator. When employees are protected by machine guarding or similar devices, lockout and tagout is not necessary. The employee has protection. The term servicing and maintenance during normal production operations also requires maintenance persons to be protected by machine guarding. If guards or other protection must be removed during this process, the servicing employee could expose hands, fingers, or other body parts to moving machine parts. Lockout-tagout procedures are then necessary. Clearing jams is another area of concern. A good rule of thumb is if an employee will be exposed to possible injury due to unexpected activation, release of energy, or removal of machine guarding, creating potential hazards, then lockout-tagout procedures must be used. You need to develop specific procedures for each machine, and all authorized and affected employees must be trained in these procedures. The next part of lockout-tagout procedures is an inspection process. An inspection or audit to ensure employees are trained and knowledgeable on company policies and procedures, and that these procedures are being properly used when required. Documentation of audits and inspections is required. The person conducting the audit should not be a person who is actually responsible for lockout and tagout procedures. In other words, maintenance people who perform lockout-tagout procedures cannot conduct the audit. Now, what about organizations that use only tagout without the use of lockouts? Some concerns about tagout-only programs are that they include more durable, weatherproofed tags. These tags must remain securely affixed to the equipment during servicing. Securely affixed appears to rule out flimsy or easily removed items such as string or other attaching devices. The greatest limitation to tag-out-only programs is that it doesn't secure the energy isolating device and prevent the equipment from being re-energized. Tag-out is highly dependent on human factors and requires constant vigilance to ensure proper procedures are used. Employee training must be provided to ensure everyone is educated in tag-out procedures. Employees must know what tag-out means and that they are not to remove tags without authorization. Retraining on at least an annual basis is mandatory. The one major factor organizations must consider is how you can prove your tag-out program is as effective as a lockout-tagout program. As we mentioned earlier, there are many machines and pieces of equipment used in all industries. Some machines may not be lockable. Equipment purchased after September 1st, 1989 must be provided with the capability of being locked out if such design is feasible. Older equipment already in service, which may be undergoing extensive repair, renovation, or modifications, must also be provided with the capability of being locked out if the design is feasible. Lockout and tagout hardware is provided by the employer. Lockout-tagout hardware may only be used for lockout-tagout and cannot be used for any other purpose. Now, this pertains primarily to the tags because lockout tags used for other purposes may dilute the meaning of the tag. Each individual must accept the responsibility of being aware of the rules and following your organization's policies and procedures exactly. The purpose of lockout and tagout is accident prevention, safeguarding machine operators and the maintenance employees servicing the equipment. Safety has always been a team effort, and lockout-tagout is no different. The rules are very important, and if you're not sure about a particular procedure, ask your supervisor. Don't take chances because failure to properly lock out and tag out when necessary can lead to potentially serious injury. Thank you.